Hi, I'm Prakash Manandhar, and I'm the instructor for the BNG 315 course at UMass-Dartmouth at fall of 2015. So this is the first lecture in this class. This is the book we'll be following, Introductory Biomechanics from Cells to Organisms by Ethier and Simmons. It's a very good book. But what I'll be doing is I'll be selecting portions of it, mostly the mechanics related portions, and I will try to gloss over the anatomy, physiology related portions because that will be covered, for example, in the anatomy and physiology class that many of you will be are taking concurrently. So I don't want to repeat a lot of material, and I'll be focusing on the more mathematical aspects and mechanics related aspects of biomechanics. But this book is a very good read, so feel free to read any portion of the book, even though I might not cover it, and you can ask me questions if you don't understand a particular part of the book. A lot of the work that I'll be illustrating or asking you to do will be on pen and paper. So you might be asked to derive equations or describe certain concepts, but I'll also augment it with computing. And I'll be using Python, a free open source programming environment that's useful for scientific computing. And it's becoming quite popular for scientific computing these days. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to install this environment in your computer, and you'll need to let me know whether you are comfortable working with it so that I can adjust. And so you'll need to do that early on so that you'll be able to follow the rest of the course. You shouldn't find it too difficult though, because what I'll be doing is I'll be writing most of the programs and I'll just ask you to modify them, so you won't be writing anything from scratch, because I know many of you might not be very comfortable with programming, being more from the biology side. So let me start with a brief introduction to biomechanics. So in the book, this is chapter 1, and it's a fairly comprehensive treatment, but I'll finish this in one slide because I want to get to the more interesting stuff. So one definition of biomechanics could be that it is a study of principles of mechanics as applied to biological systems. Now, it could be considered that this is a fairly young discipline in modern times, though over the years, over the centuries, people have wondered how the human body works, how the hand works, how the wrist works, how animals move, how plants are able to grow up tall and strong, and so on and so forth. But it turns out that the study of these natural systems is quite difficult. So what happened is people started to focus on the easier problems and leave the more difficult problems for later. So because these problems were difficult to solve, there are some principles that were found early on, but it didn't go too far from there. And you can, if you read chapter 1 of the book, then you might find it interesting, a little bit of history. So on the right, here's a figure from a book from 1685 by Borelli, which talks about how the human arm can be modeled like a system, a lever-like system where the weight is being applying a torque at the joint, and muscles are used to lift that weight. So you can see pretty far back, people started working on this problem, but they were not able to go very far along. Um, so this book, being from 1685, it's now out of copyright, so you can find this full book in Google Books, and it's in Latin, so those of you who know Latin might be interested to take a peek or just look at the figures near the end. So why is the natural systems or biological machines uh, complex, or why is it difficult to study? One of the reasons is the size at which things occur. For example, cells, for many years people didn't know that there was cells in the body, and then people thought that cells were just compartments and there was nothing interesting going inside them. And then now we know that cells are complex machines in themselves. So this ends part one of lecture one. So I encourage you to watch this video from this link, and then we'll move on to part two.